It was a peaceful summer's day on Thomas's branch line. Thomas was impatiently waiting at a red signal with Annie and Clarabelle. Bother this red signal. It's going to spoil my lovely day if it doesn't turn green soon. Never mind the signal, Thomas. It hasn't made us late yet. I'm sure there must be a good reason for it to be red for this long. Help! Help! My brakes have failed! My brakes have failed! Cinders and ashes. See, I told you there was a good reason. We must send for help at the next station. At last, the signal turned green and Thomas raced to the next station. He was determined to find help for Percy and to make up for lost time. Later that day, poor Percy was placed on a flatbed ready for the works. Edward was there to take him to Vickerstown. I am sending Percy to be repaired at the works in Vickerstown. He is rather damaged, though, and if Victor is unable to make all of the repairs, he will have to be sent to Crewe. Percy was most upset. He knew that if he was sent to Crewe, his repairs would take much, much longer. This made Thomas and Toby sad as well. Who will take over his duties while he's away, sir? Please don't send Diesel, sir. Every time you do, he always causes problems. Don't worry, Thomas. I'm not sending Diesel. Actually, I'm sending an old friend who you haven't seen in years. Thomas and Toby beamed with excitement. They wondered who their old friend could be. The next day, Vickerstown station was bustling with passengers as usual. Gordon was there with the express. Suddenly, a vaguely familiar engine appeared. Hello there, you must be Gordon. Thomas has told me many stories about you. Oh, don't listen to a word that cheeky little engine says. Who are you, might I ask? You look vaguely familiar. Have you been to Sodor before? I have. Many years ago, when Percy was sent away for repairs. I'm Wilbert. Ah, yes, but of course. I have heard good things about you. Well, that's good. What brings you to Sodor now? Well, for the same reason, actually. Oh dear, Percy. I've heard about your accident. Was Victor unable to help? I'm afraid not. It's off to Crewe with me. Never mind, Percy. Crewe is a lovely place. They treat engines very well there. Yes, this isn't my first time. It's nice to see you, Wilbert. Thomas and Toby will be pleased. Please take good care of my post vans. Of course, Percy. You can count on me. And with that, Boko set off to the mainland with Percy in tow. Later that day, Thomas and Toby waited impatiently for their old friend. Sir Topham Hatt was there as well to greet the arriving engine. Are you sure you can't tell us who it is, sir? The suspense is killing me. Patience, Thomas. He's on his way now. Just then, Wilbert grandly arrived at the sheds. Thomas and Toby were very pleased to see him. Wilbert, it's great to see you. It has been much too long. Indeed. I'm sure you remember how things work around here, Wilbert. Yes, sir. For your first task, I'd like you to collect some stone from the quarry. If Mavis needs any assistance, please help her. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. And Wilbert cheerfully puffed away to the quarry. Mavis was busy shunting trucks at the quarry. Some were empty and some were filled with stone. She usually has her way about keeping the quarry in order, but today she was having difficulty with the trucks. Come on, you stupid truck! I have to get a train ready. Percy will be here any minute. You can push all you want, but I'm not moving. Mavis was very frustrated. After trying to push, she thought she would try to pull the truck instead. She pulled and pulled and pulled, but to no avail. The truck creaked in agony. Ooh, you're pulling too hard! Shut up! Just then, Wilbert arrived. You're not Percy. No, I didn't think I was. Do you need help? No! I mean, no thank you. I can handle this. I'm nearly done marshalling your train. Just give me a moment. Suit yourself. Mavis continued pulling. She pulled and she pulled and she pulled until finally... Fiddlesticks! Perhaps now I can help. I can get the breakdown crane. No, I can do this. This happens all the time. Not always to me, of course, but... Just stay put. Don't touch a thing. Okay, then. Wilbert looked around the quarry. The trucks were in quite a mess. Perhaps I ought to organize this yard a bit. Later, Mavis finally arrived with the breakdown crane. She was surprised to see that the yard was completely rearranged. All that remained was the toppled, troublesome truck. Wilbert had even gathered his train of stone and was ready to go. This made Mavis most upset. Surprise! I organized the yard for you. I even put my train together. Get out! Wilbert was startled. I'm sorry? Go! Get out of here with your bloomin' train, and don't you ever organize my trucks without my permission again. Wilbert was sad to see Mavis so upset. He was only trying to help. He did as Mavis said and left the quarry with his train. That evening, Wilbert, Thomas and Toby were at the sheds after a long day of work. Wilbert was still most upset. The other engines could see this. What's wrong, Wilbert? Did you not enjoy your first day of work? It's Mavis. I don't think she likes me at all. I've made her most upset. I was only trying to help. You may not know it yet, but Mavis is actually a very kind diesel. She does, however, have a very particular way about doing things at the quarry. It's best only to help her when she asks for it. I was worried you would get into this sort of trouble. The fat controller shouldn't have advised you to help her this morning. He set you up for disaster. Indeed he has. I wonder what I could do to make it up to her. The next day, Wilbert arrived at the quarry once again for another train of stone. This time, the train was all sorted and ready for him. Good morning, Mavis. Thank you for getting my train ready. Oh, it's you. What have you done with Percy? Percy is so kind. He never barges in where he doesn't belong. Percy had an accident, and I'm here to help while he's gone. Oh, you know, I was only trying to help yesterday. Just go, Wilbert. Wilbert quickly stopped talking and left the quarry with his train. At first, Wilbert's journey was smooth. Everything was going well. However, he couldn't get Mavis off of his mind. He was really stumped on what he could do. He was so busy thinking that he didn't realize that the signalman had directed him in the wrong direction, towards the harbor. Wilbert made it all the way to the harbor. By the time he realized where he was, it was too late. Wilbert was headed straight toward the edge of the quay. He applied his brakes as hard as he could. He crashed straight through the reef buffers and dangled dangerously off the edge of the quay. Whoa! Help! Wilbert cried. Just then, Mavis arrived at the harbor with a train of empty trucks. A workman quickly approached her. Help! An engine has crashed straight through the buffers and is about to fall into the sea. You must rescue him. Right away. When Mavis stopped behind Wilbert's train, she was surprised to see that it was him. You? What are you doing here? I got lost. Please help. Oh, all right, but only because you asked for it. Mavis carefully buffered up to the back of Wilbert's train. Carefully, she pulled Wilbert back to safety. He was very relieved. Oh, thank you so much, Mavis. You saved me. Any time. All you need to do is ask. Mavis and Wilbert are now firm friends. Wilbert learned that no two engines are the same, and that it's okay to adjust to their differences. Mavis and Wilbert work very well together, and are both really useful engines.